that feeling when you're spinning all the plates? You're showing up for your 9 to 5, you're showing up for your family, you're showing up for your community, but there's this underlying current of anxiety, like something's missing, like you're one unexpected event from completely feeling unstable. And that's what brought you here. You've probably Googled how to make extra money 100 times. You've scrolled past hustle culture content that makes you more tired just reading it. You've considered the side hustles, the online courses you could build, the businesses you could start, and every single option felt like it would require you to burn yourself to the ground. Here's what I'm going to show you in this video. There's a way to build additional income that doesn't require you to become a different person or trade the life you're building for the money you need. And stick around until the end because we're talking about the one approach that creates security without stealing your peace. The narrative around extra income is completely broken, y'all, and I'm going to tell you why. Most conversations about building a second stream of income start in the same place. You need more money. That's the problem you're trying to solve. But the way it's given to you makes it sound like you need to do more, be more, learn more, become more. And so you add another thing to your plate, another passion project, another business idea, another course to launch. And I'm watching women who are already running on fumes trying to squeeze an extra 10 hours a week into building something on top of everything else they're managing. That's not safety. That's just strategic burnout with a dollar sign attached to it. Here's the thing I want you to hear. Building extra income doesn't mean adding more work. It means redirecting the work you've already done. It means looking at what you've already spent thousands of hours learning. It means looking at what you've already been paid to know. And it requires you to ask a completely different question. You don't need to ask yourself,
what else do I need to do?
But instead ask yourself,
what am I already qualified to sell?
And this part is important because most of what you've been told about creating a second stream of income has one huge blind spot. It assumes you need something new. It assumes you need a new idea, a new skill, a new audience, or a brand new business. When the whole time, you already have an asset you've completely underestimated. I'm talking about your experience, your expertise, the problems you've already solved for other people or for organizations. And I'm talking about the things people already come to you for advice about. Your 9 to 5 taught you something. Whether you work in corporate, healthcare, nonprofit, education, government, or any other industry, you've already been trained for this. You've been tested. You've solved real problems. And here's what most women miss. That foundation right there is worth money. Not tomorrow or after you build your personal brand or launch a podcast or quit your job. That foundation is worth money right now. The safety you're looking for isn't coming from adding another project to your life. It's coming from monetizing what you already have. Now, here's the thing I really need you to think about. Your 9 to 5 was never meant to be your only income plan. And I know that might sound uncomfortable if you grew up believing that one job was supposed to be enough. If you grew up believing that you get a good salary, you're supposed to be grateful for the benefits, and you don't need anything else. But here's the thing. The economy our parents were in is not the economy that we're navigating right now, because layoffs happen to people with 20 years of tenure. Mergers eliminate entire departments. Industries are shifting, and what felt safe last year, it doesn't feel safe anymore. And I'm not saying this to scare you. I'm saying this so you understand why having a second stream of income isn't a luxury. It's not something you do if you're ambitious or if you want to get rich. It's what you do if you want options, because options are freedom. Options are the difference between staying in a situation because you're afraid versus leaving because you choose to. Options are what let you set boundaries at work. Options are what let you say no. Options are what let you create a life that aligns with who you are instead of a life your paycheck forces you into. Multiple streams of income aren't for people who have everything figured out. They're for people who understand that the world changes and they want to be prepared. You understand that one source of income creates vulnerability, but 2 or more sources create stability. And here's what I've watched happen with so many women. They know this in their bones. They know they need more than their 9 to 5, but the way they've been told to go about it makes them feel like they're choosing between their job and their sanity. That's the problem we're really solving here, y'all. So let me ask you this. What if the route to additional income didn't require you to become a full-time content creator? It didn't require you to have a huge email list or a massive social media following. It didn't require you to launch a course or build a full-time business or quit your job. What if instead it was based on something you could start with what you already have, the skills you've spent years developing, the problem problems that you've solved, the clients or customers or colleagues or family members you've already helped. That's your starting point. Most women I work with come to me thinking they need something new. But when I ask them about their background, when I ask them what they're known for in their circle, what people ask them for advice about, and what problems they've solved, suddenly there's this moment, this pause, where they realize they've been underestimating their own value. That realization is the shift that can change everything for you, because you already have the foundation. You don't need to become somebody different. You just need to package what you already know in a way that people are willing to pay for. And that's where coaching becomes relevant, not as something you need to learn from scratch, but as the framework that turns your skills into income. Coaching isn't complicated. It's not something that requires a certification or a coaching institute or a year-long program before you start. Coaching is simply one person helping another person move from where they are to where they want to be, using the knowledge and the experience that you already have. And here's what I want to offer you, because this is where most women get stuck. Most women intellectually understand that their skills have value, right? But they don't know where to start with translating that value into income. And that gap between understanding something and executing that thing is where most women stay stuck. So I created a free training that walks you through exactly how to identify what you can sell. I deep dive into why coaching is such a viable first income stream for women like you, and what most women get wrong when they try to start. I'm going to take you through the entire framework, and by the time you're done with this training, you're going to understand not just what to sell, but why it matters that you start. So drop the word income in the comments and I'll make sure you get all the details. Let me tell you why coaching is your next move. Most women think they need to build a course or a product or some big complicated thing, but coaching is different. Coaching has a built-in profitability model because you're trading time for skills. You're not trying to endlessly scale. You're not trying to get 1 million email subscribers. You're not working on something for years before you see a return. You can start coaching next week if you want to. Coaching doesn't require you to grow your list or have everything figured out. You can start coaching literally next week, because the women who need your skills are already looking for you. They're already paying somebody else for your skills. They're already hiring coaches. They're already looking for someone who understands their situation. They're looking for you because you've already been where they are. But here's what separates the women who make money coaching from the women who try coaching and quit. Because it's not talent and it's not natural ability either. It's structure. Structure is what makes the difference between having a skill and having a business. Structure is what lets you do this without burning out. Structure is what keeps you from overcommitting, overgiving, and under-earning because you know how much to charge or what you should be delivering. That's the piece that brings all of this together. When you have structure, you know exactly what you're selling. You know exactly how much it costs. You know exactly how many clients you can take on without it affecting your 9 to 5. You know what success looks like, so you're not constantly second guessing yourself. Structure takes the guesswork out of all of this. And here's the part nobody tells you. The women who are building the most sustainable income streams aren't the ones who are working the hardest. They're the ones working the smartest. They've got systems. They've got a clear offer. They've got boundaries around what they deliver and how much they charge. That's not something you need to figure out on your own through trial and error or by making a whole lot of expensive mistakes. There's a framework for all this. And once you understand it, everything becomes clear. Your skills become monetizable. Your experience becomes a product. Your time becomes valuable in a completely different way. Because instead of trading hours for a salary where someone else decides your value, you're the one in control. And that's the freedom part. That's where options come in. Because when you have another source for income, when you know you can make money with your skills, it changes the position you're in at your 9 to 5. Because now you're not desperate. You're not clinging to that paycheck. You're choosing to be there because it works for you right now. And the moment it doesn't work for you anymore, you've got a backup plan that's already generating revenue. Here's the thing about all this. The economy has changed. Your job is not guaranteed. That one income stream isn't a safety blanket anymore. It's vulnerability. But you have something that's more valuable than safety from a single employer. You have skills. You have expertise. You have the ability to help people move from one place to another. That's literally the definition of what makes someone a coach. And you don't need permission to start. You don't need a certificate or a credential or someone to validate that you're worthy. Your experience validates that. The women who are building income, the ones who are creating safety for themselves and their families, they're not waiting for the perfect moment. They're not waiting to feel ready. They're not waiting until they've learned more or prepared more or built something new. They're starting with what they have. They're packaging what they already know, and they're charging money for access to that expertise. You already have what it takes. The only thing left is deciding that you're not going to keep underestimating your own value. I created something called 2K in 2 hours specifically for women who are at this exact moment. This is for women who understand that they need a second stream of income. This is for the women who know they want more financial safety and more alignment in how they spend their time. 2K in 2 hours is for the women who haven't done this before, but you know you need a framework to start. Listen, this is not some long program. It's not a big investment of your time or your money. This is a micro course, and it's designed to get you moving in 2 hours of focused work. You'll walk through exactly how to structure your first offer, how to position it in the market, and how to have a conversation with your first client. You can learn more about 2K in 2 hours by visiting my website at herincomeedit.com/2K, or just click the link down in the description. Listen, this isn't about becoming an entrepreneur. This isn't even about leaving your job tomorrow. This is about building a backup plan that works. This is about creating options. This is about the freedom that comes when you know you can make money with the skills you already have. If you're new here, my name is Nick Scott, and I help women turn their existing skills into coaching income, digital products, and online businesses. If you're ready to look at your skills differently and understand how to monetize what you already know, I want you to go watch this video next. I'm breaking down exactly why your 9-to-5 skills qualify you to coach and how you can start building that second income stream without quitting your job. Okay? I'll see you in the next one.